This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Hello everyone, Andy Pickering here, and we have a very good show for you today. But before we get into it, need to shout out our new sponsor, Nexo. Yes indeed, are you ready to grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, Nexo? Well, you should be ready, because you can earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high yield savings account. That's right. So treat yourself, treat your crypto, and treat your fiat with the industry's best crypto and fiat services, which include compounding interest paid out daily. There are 18 available cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, various stablecoins, and many more. And 3 fiat currencies are accepted, the euro, the pound, and USD. And Nexo has up to $375 million worth of insurance across all custodial assets. Top-ups and withdrawals are available at any time, and there are 0 fees for using the Nexo Earn Suite. So, are you ready to start earning? Of course you are. Simply go to nexo.io, and of course that is spelt NEXO.io. And now it's on with the show. My guest today is Mark Berisha. Mark is the CEO of APEcoin and MemeFarm, and Mark is a founding member of the BUSTA BNB DAO. Don't worry, we're going to learn about BUSTA BNB today. So APEcoin embraces the humor and viral nature of memes to bring new participants into the crypto ecosystem, and Mark and the team are developing BUSTA BNB that is on the Binance Smart Chain, and they've just launched a new NFT marketplace which has a new NFT-OTC solution. So there is a lot going on here. Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Hey, Andy. Great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Hey, it's great to have you back, Mark. Just for, I guess, the benefit of anyone who didn't hear you on the show the first time around, which was some months ago, I think it'd be good to just have some quick backstory on yourself. So please just reintroduce yourself and tell us how you got into crypto.
I went to the University of Florida. I started a business in the same town. It was a uni town. I love it, couldn't leave. So I started a company here. We specialized in design build, primarily in the hospitality industry. So we did bars, clubs, restaurants, things of that nature. And about 7 years ago, I started getting into the crypto space. Dabbled a little bit, about a little Bitcoin here, about a little Ethereum. So I kind of got a little bit more comfortable, getting into the investing space. Then I kind of started moving into the trading space, went down that rabbit hole. The more excited I got about what cryptocurrencies and just blockchain and all of that becoming, really just the future. And I really got very, very excited about it. So about 2 years ago, I started to wind down my in real life business and just decided to make the full leap into the crypto space. And when that happened, that's kind of when the really the magic happened in deciding to say, okay, well, great, you've done fairly well investing, you've had a pretty successful time trading, and I really wanted to do more. I really wanted to expand my knowledge and understanding, and I thought, because of my business background, what makes more sense than to start my very own business in the crypto space? And that's how the APEcoin ecosystem kind of launched. That was the inception.
Okay, well, let's get into it then, Mark, because we do have a few things to cover today. So, I'd love to hear where MemeFarm is at. I'd love to hear more about this NFT marketplace, which I believe has just launched. And of course, as I mentioned at the top, the BUSTA BNB blockchain game, which is very close as well. So I guess just as context to all this stuff, do you want to maybe begin by kind of, laying out what we mean, or what you mean by the APEcoin ecosystem?
Sure. So the way APEcoin started off is, we had a group of crypto enthusiasts and investors, and we wanted to create something unique. We really wanted to come up with a way for us to expand on everything that we were doing in the crypto space. So that's how APEcoin launched. It was about a little bit over a year ago. We were throwing around, ideas, and maybe after a few pints, as sometimes the best ideas start off, and we said, you know what, let's go with the ape name, right? Because it was a time, especially like there was all the projects launching on Ethereum, so everybody was aping into projects, and then of course Binance Smart Chain and all the other chains. So people were just aping into projects, and we thought, what better name to start with than APEcoin.
Totally.
And yeah, so the concept just was really about creating an incubator, right? To brainstorm ideas for actual crypto projects with actual utility, right? We didn't want to do something, super ridiculous, but we wanted to have fun. We wanted to bring excitement, because that's what really brings people into the crypto space, right? That excitement, that energy, that liveliness, that's what brings and attracts people to the crypto space. And so, like I said, so the APEcoin kicked it all off, right? And then the next project, of course, was MemeFarm, right? We built that in-house. We launched the farming concept, and it was a traditional farming concept originally on the Ethereum platform. We moved it over to Binance Smart Chain. The unique part about it in the original concept was not only are you earning MemeFarm rewards, right, but you're also earning NFT rewards. And one of the biggest things that we wanted to do with MemeFarm is we wanted to, instead of doing that's how we wanted to distribute the tokens, right, was through the farm. And so it was a great way to distribute the initial offering. And like I said, each and every one of our ideas, it starts off with a very simple concept, and we try to build and build and build and add utility. We'll go into that a little bit more. And then the next project that we launched was a game. It was called Go Ape. And then we didn't really love the concept that we were working on, and we were working with a couple of our strategic partners. And once we got their input and their feedback, we really, it went from this very simple game to this broad, really in its own right, a BUSTA BNB ecosystem and the BUSTA DAO. So what we're trying to do is always create perpetual utility machines. We come up with an idea, we let the idea flourish, but then that's a great idea. Once the idea is out in the wild, and once the project actually gets going, once the code is going, then it becomes that perpetual utility machine. It's no longer really in our control. It's now in the community's control.
Yeah, right. Very interesting, Mark. So a couple of things I want to just pick up on there. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of, well, I guess it's just an obvious one to call to APEcoin, right? Because, the memes and the ape memes and aping into coins just became a huge part of, I guess, crypto trading culture, particularly at the start of this year. So makes sense to focus on that. And I think you used the term, did I hear you right when you said perpetual utility machine? That's a fantastic term. I love that. I think I know kind of what you're talking about, but let's dig into that a little bit. So I'd love to understand what you mean really by a perpetual utility machine.
Certainly. Okay, so with MemeFarm, we really started focusing on automating the NFT ecosystem, right? It's been in development for some time. As I mentioned, it started originally off as a very like a fun way, a farm to distribute the tokens, and you were getting the MemeFarm rewards, and then you were getting the NFT rewards, right? And then once we got that moving, we decided to continue to add utility. So when we're talking about that perpetual utility machine, what it's all about is adding more utility over time, and then getting that completely automated. And so for MemeFarm, for instance, we recently launched our NFT art marketplace, right, which was the next level for MemeFarm. And that gives the user the ability to mint, auction, buy, and sell NFTs on the Binance Smart Chain. One of the things I really, really like about our NFT art marketplace is it gives the sellers options to allocate a percentage of their earnings to charity. So they can select a percentage they want to donate ranging from 1% to 99%. The way we set it up is each NFT transaction has a 1% fee, right? So that's why we set up the charity thing, 1 to 99%, because there's still going to be that 1% there. And it's very competitive for the NFT marketplace space. And that 1% fee gets broken down like this. 25% goes to MemeFarm stakers, 25% goes to liquidity, 25% goes to buybacks and burns of MemeFarm, and 25% goes to buyback and burn of Ape. And you'll see that in any of our projects. When we're people who hold the Ape token, the actual ecosystem token, they're always going to get a piece of the action of every project that we launch moving forward. And so that's just something I want to make sure that people always understand. What I think a lot of people don't realize is that NFTs are far more than just artworks, right? So I think traditionally people see that NFTs as being a piece of art, maybe a video, maybe a music clip. But I think the art side of things really gets a lot of the attention, especially in the crypto Twitter space. People are very focused on, Pepe's and all sorts of fun, crazy NFTs that they can share and goof around on. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that the NFTs have so much more utility and ability to go to expand just on that basic picture, even just a little bit of music or a little bit of graphic design. There's so much more there.
Very interesting, Mark. So, all right, we'll expand on this then. So you've launched this NFT marketplace, and we talked at the beginning about a new NFT-OTC solution that you guys are talking about, and I think that's what you're hinting at here, right? So, well, give us an example of what you mean by this utility that NFTs can have, and obviously, you're exactly right. There's a huge buzz around NFTs, as art is kind of the first NFT to find product market fit in terms of a use case, right? And it's great to see that the NFT market has been kind of surprisingly resilient, even when crypto has been down over the last few months. But so what do you mean by this new utility that NFTs can have?
Well, yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I think that's a big thing that people realize is, like, there's always that novelty faction that gets people to kind of adopt a concept, right? So NFTs definitely have that kind of novelty thing where it's fun and people are just messing around with it, but maybe it doesn't have a lot of utility. And that happens in a lot of different spaces. But when we were developing the NFT marketplace, we were having a different problem, right? It was completely unrelated to MemeFarm. It was on the personal side. And we realized that we could potentially take not only our marketplace, but NFTs in general, and have a very specific utility, right? That could help with a multi-billion-dollar industry problem, right? And you're probably thinking, multi-billion-dollar industry, well, tell me more. That's the really funny thing. So it was actually me personally. I was trying to do an OTC deal. It was such a huge pain in the butt, right? And I don't know if you've had to do it in the past, but I think one of the hardest things in the crypto space is you're dealing with multiple time zones, right? It's a 24-hour market, never sleeps. And anytime you're dealing with it. So it was an investment, right? I was working on. It was for a coin that didn't have a ton of liquidity. And I was trying to coordinate and say, okay, I want this X percent of supply. And it just went back and forth for weeks, right? And I found somebody the seller, and we're going back and forth, and the price is fluctuating nonstop, right? One day it's this, and we're trying to settle on a price, and then they change their mind, and you're going back and forth. And it's very frustrating from that standpoint, right? You've got and then you've got the escrow and the third party to deal with, and there's so much going on. So what we decided to do is we said, can we solve this issue, right, with an NFT token? There's actually a way for us to take this very complex problem, right, where people are dealing with various liquidity of different tokens, and we can go ahead and wrap that into an NFT and and put that on a marketplace, right? And then that gives people the opportunity to either one, they can set it up as just a basic, hey, this is what I have. I've got for example, 100,000 APEcoin. Here's the price, or you can set it up as an auction.
That is fascinating, Mark. So if I'm hearing you rightly, what you're really saying is that someone can come along, they can use the NFT marketplace that you guys have built, and then they can, just through smart contracts, they can send, whatever X amount of X token to a smart contract associated with that NFT, and then those tokens are locked up in that NFT, which can then be sold, I guess, to the highest bidder, like any other NFT transaction. But of course, that also works as an OTC deal for whatever amount of altcoin tokens that are locked up into that smart contract. That's quite clever. So that's what you're talking about, right?
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. And that's what we want to do. So what we have our developers working on, and it's going to be actually launching this week, is we have a simple interface on MemeFarm.io where users can connect their wallets. They can specify which token and how many tokens they want to sell, and then a deposit address is created. So I'll give you a pretty straightforward example. Like I said, I mentioned 100,000 APE a second ago. So you want to sell 100,000 APE OTC for 10 cents each, and so you yield 10,000 US dollars. So you simply mint what we call a token NFT, which is really just an escrow smart contract linked to a specific NFT. Then the seller goes ahead and they specify which coin and the amount they want to sell. And the amount is then transferred to the NFT contract, and the system mints an NFT that holds this proposed sale. So, like I said, 100K APEcoin. And nobody can take the coins out of the NFT. There's only one way to get those coins out, and that's to use the redeem function on MemeFarm.io. And that's where the magic happens. All right. So the NFT is destroyed, and the coins are unlocked and issued to the NFT buyer's address. But while the coins are locked into the NFT can be, like I said, either it can be auctioned like any other NFT on a marketplace. And that means that the user, they can have a dedicated URL for each auction, and that solves 50% of the OTC problem, right? Because right now, when you're doing an OTC deal, right, it's through Telegram chats and maybe Discord, and people, they're posting buys and sells. Hey, I got this. Anybody interested? So for us, one of the nice little simplistic things is say, hey, I've got 100,000 APEcoin for sale. Boom, here's a link to memfarm.io/da-da-da-da-da. And they go to memfarm.io, super streamlined. It's sitting there. Like I said, you can have it set up where you've got, kind of a buy now price style or an auction. And it's a beautiful, simple, elegant solution that I'm in love with personally.
Yeah, nice, Mark, and you're exactly right. It is. It sounds like an incredibly simple and indeed elegant solution. So, if that is the case, why hasn't anyone thought of this before?
Well, I'd love to say that we're just incredibly brilliant and we're just geniuses, but it actually just harkens back to my design build era when I was running my in real life business, and that was one of the things that worked really well for me. Is that we'd have a complex problem either in the build, the design, the engineering, and because of my business and marketing background, a lot of times like I had a different take than the person that was building it, a different take than the guy that was designing it, and a lot of times that's what you need. You just need a different kind of eyes on a problem, and you say, well, why can't we just do it simply? And people go, oh, that does make sense, right? That actually works really, really well. So like I said, we're super excited with how scalable the solution is, right? We're going to open up the source code so that even if our website goes down, users can still mint and redeem the token NFTs.
Fantastic, fantastic. So yeah, I mean, it's quite a fascinating idea. Sort of, kind of flips the OTC market concept idea upside down. So yeah, kind of reminds me. This might be a little bit of an esoteric example, but I'm thinking it reminds me of an art stunt, right? So bear with me here, but say, imagine I have $100 in $1 bills, right? And I pin all those dollar bills to a board, and then I frame it, right? And then I can sell that board as a piece of art. But from, what you're talking about, it's kind of like, it's both a piece of art and it's also a token trade. It's also, a solution to all the OTC dramas that you've talked about, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Exactly. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. I suppose, yeah, you could consider an artwork sale. We just kind of assume that the concept and technology can be used in a variety of ways, right? Like, I'm not 100% sure how other people might take this simple idea and run with it. And I'm pretty excited to kind of see what other people come up with, right? So I really hope people see what we're doing and they come up with 10 different ways they can actually just run with it and go really hard. Like for instance, maybe in the future, token vesting contracts can be distributed by way of NFT, right? Instead of having to set it up manually. And so you go on and hit redeem, and boom, you've got your vested tokens waiting for you.
Very cool, very cool. So, all right, well, what's next on all this, Mark? How do you kind of, I guess, scale this out? How do you attract new users to your NFT marketplace, and I guess, get them to buy into this idea of using NFTs for OTC trades?
First, we are super excited, not just about how scalable it is, right? And it's, like I said, it's a simple concept, but it represents like real, true programmatic utility. And the APEcoin ecosystem is all about automated utility, right? A couple of things I do want to hit on for our community. We take all the fees that are generated from using this token NFT facility and programming those fees to do 3 key things automatically. One, we're going to buy and burn MemeFarm off the market to create a deflationary aspect to MemeFarm. Second, we're going to auto add permanent liquidity to all MemeFarm trading pairs. And third, we'll send a portion of the fees to the NFT DAO for the community to vote upon what to do with. And they can choose, do they want to burn more tokens? Do they want to increase the APY on our staking pools, or whatever potential proposal the community comes up with? What we're working on is, right now, everything should be feature complete and audited by the beginning of August, probably the first or second week of August. We're currently in testing and things are looking really great. During the month of August, we're going to focus on aggressively scaling the NFT token solution and getting the NFT DAO up and running. Once that's done, by the end of August, first week of September, the project is going to be largely community owned and decentralized, as much as we can get it. And the goal would be, ideally, my birthday, September 8th. So that's my goal, to get this fully decentralized.
Awesome. Well, we can do nothing but wish you the best of luck with that rollout, Mark. Just as we slowly come to the end of the podcast, a couple more things I want to talk about. We've talked about DAOs a bit, so I'd love to just circle back to DAOs, and we also I mentioned BUSTA BNB, so I want to just cover off a little bit about that, because that looks like a lot of fun. So let's just go to a very quick break. We'll hear from our sponsor Nexo, and then we'll be right back with Mark Berisha from the APEcoin ecosystem.
Grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, Nexo. Earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high yield savings account. Treat yourself, your crypto and fiat with the industry-best crypto and fiat services featuring compounding interest paid out daily, 18 available cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, stablecoins, and more. 3 fiat currencies are accepted: Euro, Pounds, and USD. Up to 375 million insurance on all custodial assets, top-ups and withdrawals available at any time, and 0 fees for using Nexo Earn Suite. Start earning at nexo.io. That's nexo.io.
All right, we are back, and we are with Mark Berisha from APEcoin, MemeFarm, Busta BNB. Mark, I said we'd talk about DAOs just really quickly, right? So, you've got, I think you talked about the NFT DAO, there is the BUSTA DAO. So there's, you see there's a lot of discussion across crypto at the moment about DAOs. There's DAOs popping up left, right, and center, and yeah, I think there's a lot of kind of exciting potential about where DAOs can go. So yeah, I mean, just interested in any thoughts you have on why DAOs are exciting and what you guys are doing.
Yes, so DAOs are super interesting. The thing I really like about DAOs is, especially with APEcoin, what we're trying to do is we're trying to incubate an idea, right? And then get that idea out into the public, right? And have the public transform our original idea and have hundreds, if not thousands, and ideally, eventually millions of people give us their input. So I kind of harken back to my in real life business experience. So it kind of has almost, when you go back and think about it like it's an employee owned business, right? There's a traditional business style where you've got, the leadership, and they're coming down with the ideas, and they're telling all the employees, this is what you can do, and that's it, right? So top down leadership. And so DAOs kind of go with that original concept of like, okay, well, now we're an employee owned business. So what that means that everybody's a stakeholder in the business, and everybody can utilize that staking concept of, okay, I have a portion of this business, and they can then implement their individual idea. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
And so I love how in crypto we can actually actualize that beyond just, okay, a small concept, maybe a small, a very small business with maybe 15 or 20 people in it, and it's employee owned, and they all have a stake in it, and they can all give feedback. But what DAOs do is it gives every stakeholder the ability to actually direct what that entity is going to do. And so that's why I think it really gives what the crypto community is all about. It really enhances and just vitalizes that aspect, that decentralization. And it's powerful stuff.
Yeah, exactly right, Mark. And I think, if you want to kind of extrapolate these concepts out, you sort of, people talk about DAOs kind of, trying to effectively solving the human governance problem, right? Which is, it's quite a strange concept and quite a strange problem to solve, but it is a real problem to solve. So it's just interesting to see, how this kind of decentralized bits of computer code can potentially take away some of the worse impulses that humans have towards each other. It's really, really philosophically interesting, I think. So going to be just incredibly fascinating to watch where all these different DAOs go. But let's start to finish off, Mark, and we need to finish off, I reckon, with Busta BNB. So I'll get you to explain what Busta BNB is, but let's do that first. So, okay, what is Busta BNB?
Okay, so what I was saying before is the very basic original concept of we were trying to do a game called Go 8. And we were doing a bunch of different ideas, and we didn't love any of them. And we got into with one of our strategic partners, and they were we started going back and forth. Like I said, that exciting thing where I present an idea, or Boomer Ape presents an idea, and then they have a better idea, and it just started bouncing back and forth, and then we really got very excited. We were very heavily influenced by games like Bustabit, Satoshi Dice, and a bunch of others, and it's going to be the first of our games on the BSC platform. An airdrop is going to occur for all ape holders. Like I said, that's a recurring theme that every single time we will go ahead and make sure that our original APEcoin ecosystem holders are always rewarded. The development has been, it's been a work of art. Man, we've been working on this for almost 6 months now. And it's just been a heck of a project. And man, it's just such a monster. So much so that we've had to bring on more and more strategic partners, right? We've advisor account, professional social media account, community management team. We've got over 20 full-time staff now working on this project, and an additional 10, I think even 15 part-time staff. It's almost getting out of hand. It's something special. I've played the alpha, and this is going to be the best online crypto crash game out there. And with BNB as the primary play token, you place a bet, you watch the multiplier curve increase exponentially, and you gotta get out before the crash. And that's the key, man. It goes to the heart of degens, right? And we all, of course, are in this space because we were lured by the attraction of Bitcoin going ever and ever higher, and buying altcoins and getting these crazy multiples. And that's the key, right? You got to get out before the music stops. And so it's an amazing game. I'm really, really happy with the direction it's going, and I cannot wait for everyone to see it.
Yeah, fascinating, Mark. So, and you're right, at a, I guess, super high level, it really is just a degen. I guess it's a progressive jackpot game, but I think degen game is probably a better and nicer, simple summary. And what you got, if you go to listeners, if you go to the website, which is Busta BNB, which is bustabnb.com, and everything's there. But what I think is fascinating on the website is you guys have got this, what do you call it? I guess it's the BUST ecosystem technical flowchart. And I've seen a few. This is a new version that's on the website now. It's just superbly designed, and it's basically just the technical flowchart of how the game works, how the odds work, and the tokenomics of it. So, but yeah, just fascinating to see it all laid out in this flowchart, Mark.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, everybody go to bustabnb.com and check out that diagram. And the reason I like it for two different reasons. If you're technically oriented, right, it really gives a really solid breakdown of everything we're doing with the Busta BNB ecosystem. But even if you're not technically oriented, it gives you a really interesting background to see how your favorite crypto project actually runs, how many different moving parts and how many thoughts go on behind the scenes to actually get things moving. So I really highly recommend everybody go check out the website, bustabnb.com, go to that diagram, and it's like I said, it's a piece of work.
Sure is, Mark. And just what's the actual launch date of Busta BNB? Bust, when does it launch?
Okay, so we have the IDO scheduled for August 17th. Shortly after that, we're going to be airdropping all ape holders their BUST tokens. And the exact launch date is going to be coming shortly after that. And I don't want to spoil the news because we have some pretty exciting things lined up for getting the actual game launch. So I'll leave it at that. But
Sure. Okay. Well, what about the IDO? What are the details there? And can people still participate in that?
So August 17th, like I said, we have two announced partners, Samurai as well as BSC Starter. And you can go to the website and find out all the information.
All right. Brilliant. Well, I'll put links to those websites in the show notes. But I think that nicely brings us to the end of the show, really, Mark. So nothing else to say, really, except to hand the metaphorical microphone back to your good self, and really, just any final thoughts that you want to share, please feel free to do so, and just tell the listeners where they can go to find you on, I guess, Twitter, and some of the key links for everything from MemeFarm, APEcoin, BUSTA BNB, and anything else you want to shout out. Please go for it.
Okay. Well, you can find us. Easiest way is going to be APEcoin.dev, MemeFarm.io, and BustaBNB.com. If you go to each of those websites, you're going to find the links to all of our social media, Telegram channels, etc. I'll leave it at that. Like I said, it's very straightforward. And please go to our website, check them out. Hop on to MemeFarm.io, hop onto BustaBNB.com, and scroll around, play with it. And I can't wait to launch these products and keep building perpetual utility into the future.
Yes, indeed. Perpetual utility machine. I think I'm going to call the podcast, I think that's what I'm going to use for the title of this podcast, because I think that's it's just such a nice little term, and it rolls off the tongue nicely, and just really kind of describes everything from DeFi to blockchains to DAOs and the future of human governance. I think that might be stretching it, but yeah, perpetual utility machine. I like it. Thanks very much, Mark. All the best. Thanks for coming back on, and I'm sure we'll do it again, but bye for now.
Thank you, Andy.
Boom. Well, there you go. That was Mark Berisha from APEcoin, MemeFarm, and Busta BNB. Always a good time talking to Mark. Going to be interesting to watch all these different platforms, products, and ecosystems play out. As I say, links will be in the show notes to all of those different websites. Didn't really talk about memes today. We talked about memes last time Mark was here, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I guess, where it all began. And of course, memes are just the way. Memes are just another kind of narrative layer of the internet today, and certainly true across crypto. All right, better leave it there. Thanks for listening to everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. And if you want to get at me, just drop me an email, andy@bravenewcoin.com. Simple as that. All right, thanks again, team. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin.